Exercise 15-31 is on customer profitability. It's similar to a couple of problems we did earlier in this chapter. We've got a company that's got a paper delivery. They buy recycled paper at 20 cents a case and $20 a case and sell it for 26 per case. And we're going to look at five different customers and their profitabilities. What's interesting about this one is we get some discrepancy here because of the actual selling price is different than the list selling price, and so we have a number of things here. Order taking, customer visits. These have all been broken down. So that this is basically activity-based costing, looking at customer profitability on that. And so, what we do is as we go through here, we calculate the revenues at list. So this will be cases sold at times the list selling price, and then we calculate the discount. So the discount is here, the list selling price minus the actual selling price. So we calculate the discount, and so we end up with a net selling price, which is listed here. And so that net selling price will be the list here times the number of cases sold. And then we go down here, the purchase orders. Again, this is one that just screams to be done on Excel. I'll do it by hand here, but Excel would be faster and neater. And then you could do some charts and graphs off of it if you did Excel. That would be quite beneficial. So let's take a look at it here now. Okay, so we've got customers. Oops. Customers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we've got the revenue at list price, and so it would be 1830 times 26, and that comes up to 47,580. 6,780 times 26 is 176,280. The next one is 44,500 times 26 would be 1,157,000. Customer 4 is 31,200 cases times 26 is 811,200. And finally, customer number 5 is 1950 times $26 a case is 50,700. Okay, so the next one we have to calculate the discount. And in the first one, we see that the actual selling price and the list price is the same, so the discount is 0 on that one. Here we've got 26 and 25.20, so the discount is 80 cents, but then we multiply that times the 6,780, so we get a discount of 5,424. For number 3, we have a discount of $1.70. 24.30 minus the 26 is $1.70 on that, times the 44,500 cases is 75,650. Customer 4 gets a discount of 20 cents times 31,200 cases, so that's 6,240. And then finally, customer number 5 gets a discount of $2.10 times 1,950, so that's a discount of 4,095. All right, and so now we just sum these up and we get the actual or net revenue, right, on that. So that's 47,580 on that one. 170,856 for customer 2. Customer 3 is 1,081,350. Customer number 4 is 804,960. And finally, customer number 5 is 46,605. All right, so now we start doing these actual, the number of purchase orders times order taking, number of customer visits times the cost per customer visit. And so we just go down the list there. The actual number of purchase orders for customer number 1 is 10. The cost per purchase order is 90. And so see, I need the cost of goods sold, don't I? Forgot that. Need the cost of goods sold. All right. So that's $20 per case. So 1830 times $20 case is 36,600. $20 a case times 6,780 is 135,600. 44,500 cases times $20 a case is 890,000. Customer 4 was 31,200 cases times $20 a case is 624,000. And finally, customer number 5 had 1,950 cases times $20 per case is 39,000. And we just go through and subtract those off. 17,650 on that one. 180,960 for customer 4. 191,350 for customer 3. 35,256 for customer 2, and finally 10,980 for customer number 1. And so that would be our gross profit or gross margin. Now we get into our customer level costs. Okay, so now that's the order taking. 90 times 10 orders would be 900. Let's see, order taking. For customer number 2, it's 18, so 1,800. No, 18 times 90. That's 1620. Okay. 1620 on that one. Customer number 3 is 35 purchase orders times 90 is 3,150. Customer number 4 is 16 times 90. And 16 times 90 is 1440. Finally, we have 35 orders, same as number 3. So that's going to be 1620 there. Okay. 3150, same as number 3, 3150. All right. Okay, so the next step, and so we've already got, you can already see there's some problems with customer number 5. They get the biggest discount, and they're nowhere near the biggest volume customer. They have a lot of orders. Even though their volume is so much less. And so they're an expensive, you can tell right now they're an expensive customer, just looking at things. Then we have the customer visits. And so it's $75 per customer. Number of customer visits is 3. So that would be $225 for customer 1. Number of customer visits is 5, so that's $375 for customer 2. Number of customer visits is 12 times 75 is 1560. No, it's 900. Number of customer visits is 4. That would be 300. And finally, we have 12 customer visits. And so that's going to be the same as number 3 here at 900. So once again, customer number 5 is just coming in as a very expensive customer. All right. Next, we have the deliveries. On that, the cost per delivery is $3 per mile traveled. And so we're in that one. We're going to have to look at number of visits, 3 times miles traveled per visit times the $3. So 3 times 14 times 3. That's going to be 504 there for customer number 2. The number of deliveries is 28. The miles, 12 times 14 times 3. Yeah. So that comes out to the 504. All right. The 28 times 4 times 3 is 336. Customer number 3 is 65 deliveries times 8 miles times 3 would be 1560. Customer number 4 is going to be 25 deliveries times 6. That's 150 times 3, be 450. And then finally, customer number 5, we have number of deliveries is 35. Again, considering their overall volume of business, um, that's a lot of deliveries. And then it's 45 miles for 45 miles per delivery. So 35 times 45 times 3, um, that's 4,725. So you can see that just customer number 5 is just a very expensive customer to keep on board. Product handling is $1.20 per case sold. And so we go back to our 1830 times $1.20. We get 2,196 for customer number 1. 6,780 times $1.20 comes out to 8,136 for customer 2. Customer 3, 44,800 cases times $1.20 is 53,400. Customer number 4 is 31,200 times $1.20 is 37,440. And customer number 5, 1950 times $1.20 comes out to 2,340. So finally, a number that's in line with their volume, a cost number that's in line with their volume of sales. And then expedited runs, expedited deliveries. And that's going to be 250 per expedited delivery. We have 0 expedited deliveries, 0, 0, 0, and 3. So 750. So customer number 5 is back to being really quite expensive. So we add up these total costs, customer level costs on that, and we get 3,825 for customer 1. We get 10,467 for customer 2. We get 59,010 for customer 3. But again, that's in line because their volume is so much higher. 39,630 for customer 4. And finally, customer 5 is 11,865. Okay, so now we just subtract off the growth, take the gross profit, subtract off the customer level costs, and that will give us our, that will be our customer level operating income. So 10,980 minus 3825 leaves us with 7155. 35,256 minus the 10,467 leaves us with 24,789. 191,350 minus 5910 is going to leave us with 132,340. 180,960 minus the 3960 leaves us with 141,000. 330, and finally the 7,650 minus the 11,865 leaves us with a negative 4,260. Okay, so as we number 2 goes, what insights do we get? Well, customer number 5 is really expensive. They have a lot of sales visits. They have a lot of deliveries. They don't order that many cases. They have they're the only ones with expedited deliveries, and each delivery is a long ways out there. It's 45 miles. The next closest one is 14 miles, so it's 3 times as far as the next closest one. So that just tells you that one of the things you have to ask is, why are they getting this discount? The discount itself would bring you almost, not quite, but almost to break even, just eliminating the discount on that. And then, some of these other numbers, we could work with our sales force and with the customer to see if we can't bring some of that down, make them pay for the expedited delivery costs, for example, those sorts of things. And then finally, number 3 says, what factors should managers consider when deciding to drop one or more of the 5 customers? Well, only customer 5 is losing money, but even there, you never want dropping a customer to be your first choice. Now, sometimes you do have to drop a customer, and that's fine if it has to happen. But the better way to do it, instead of just dropping them outright, saying we can't do business with you anymore, is to restructure your costs for delivery so that it either incentivizes them to engage in the behaviors, fewer deliveries, larger volume per delivery, fewer orders, those sorts of things. So the cost structure incentivizes them to be more expensive, to be more cost effective, or if they find a better deal somewhere else, they move somewhere else. But you're not actually saying, no, we don't want your business that way. It's kind of like when I went to my doctor, and he wanted to prescribe a name brand drug for me, and the pharmacy wanted to use the generic. And he asked me, how much does your insurance cost if you use the generic? And I said, it's about $4 for the 3-month prescription. Just picked that one. He goes, how much is it if it's the name brand? And I said, it's $180 for the 3 months. That way. He goes, oh, that's their way of telling you to order the generic. Right. So he ordered the generic on that. They changed their behavior by cost structure. So that's a better way to do things. So just absolutely, sometimes you do have to cut off a customer. I always think about how much better off would Arthur Anderson have been if they had fired Enron as a client, because it was the demise of Arthur Anderson. So sometimes you do have to fire a customer, but you never want that to be your first choice. Try to work other ways around it.